Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the latest Oscars was probably something that nobody expected. And the thing, though, that nobody's really talking about is how masculinity is playing a role in the actions of Will Smith. There's really two questions we should ask. Was Chris Rock out of line for making that joke? And number two, was Will Smith out of line for physically assaulting Chris Rock on public television in front of millions of people? Before we dive into that, it's important to understand how Will Smith's masculinity has been under attack by the media ever since he's been having problems in his relationship with his wife. There was reports of cheating, infidelity, and now I believe they have an open relationship as a result of that. So you can see how this would impact one's masculinity, one of being not enough for my partner. Perhaps there were things in the past where Will did not stand up for Jada, his wife, in the past, which made her feel unsafe. And whenever a woman feels unsafe, you're likely to have problems in that relationship since she's not feeling that protector. She's not feeling like she can trust and or respect you, which opens the doors to entertaining other men. When Chris Rock made that joke, and it's not that bad of a joke because G.I. Jane is a badass. Like G.I. Jane did something really hard. Like she completed some sort of special forces training or something in the army as a woman. So I'm not really sure how bad that is. I understand that he was making fun of the hair and she has a disease, which is why she has a loss of hair. But she's comparing his wife to a powerful woman. And comedians, I feel, should have some freedom in their ability to share jokes. Now, if he was going really deep into the infidelity, into their open relationship, into something really private, then I could understand not why Will Smith assaulted Chris Rock, but I could understand why he would be extremely upset to the point where he feels like he needs to do something. I don't think it's that bad of a joke, but what I do think happened is if we look at the past, Will Smith's masculinity has been under attack and that triggered him. If you look at the footage of the joke of the Oscars, Will Smith is actually laughing a little bit at first, but then you can see he glances over to his wife and she's not happy. And that right there was the trigger. He felt that he had to do something to protect his wife because she was attacked on national television. I'm not saying that what Will Smith did was right. I'm saying that this was a trigger. We have a man who's been under attack and he feels like he's not man enough for his wife already because of the infidelity in the past. What Will could have done is stayed grounded in that moment, knowing that he would show up to Chris Rock in private and address the issue. But I think doing it on public television was a disaster. I think that is something that is going to create a lot of problems for him later down the line. And I think it really tarnished some of his image around being a role model. Or Will Smith could have walked up to Chris Rock and said, hey, that joke went too far. I'd like you to apologize to my wife. And that would still be a very bold move. That would be a lot more of a grounded approach, more of a leadership approach than simply smacking him, turning around and smiling, and then yelling and cursing out in the open right after that. I think that is a very ungrounded approach to handling when a man is triggered or handling chaos. And even Denzel Washington had spoken to Will after the Oscars saying that when you're at your highest moment, that's when the devil comes. And that highest moment for Will was when he was getting his first Oscar for Best Actor. And that is likely something that he has wanted for all of his career. That whole evening is tarnished, and that reputation of Will has been damaged because of his inability to stay grounded in the midst of chaos. I am not saying that he should ignore the fact that he didn't appreciate that joke and that his wife was hurt or didn't like it either. He 100% should have spoken to Chris Rock after the event or in private or at the after party. And there should have been some sort of serious tone letting him know that he crossed a boundary and that's something that you don't do with me. There could have been a mutual understanding, and I don't think that it would have led to the type of media backlash that we're seeing right now. What's also interesting is when you look at the women when Chris Rock was giving his ceremony speech after winning the award, the women are looking at Will Smith and they're literally melting watching him share how he was a protector of his lover, he was a leader, he was defending. And those qualities are attractive from a sexual, biological standpoint. He's also showing vulnerability in going deeper, and also he's crying and he's really trying to share a message that you can tell hit his core. And so there's a lot of attractive qualities in what he's doing. I'm not saying what Will did is right, but I'm saying it's interesting to note that when the camera B-roll was shifting to the audience, the women were melting. And when you also look at some of the tweets and other media sources of women and their response to what happened, it's overwhelmingly positive of women saying, I wish I had a man who would step up for me like that, doing whatever it takes for me and would protect me like that. There's a number of even celebrities saying how much of a quote unquote man Will Smith is for doing that. So I think he should have done something, but I do not think what he did was the best route to get it done. And then you have Will Smith's apology the day after, where he says violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. And that's a really key point right there. He reacted, which is likely coming from a place of uncontrollable behavior or reaction, versus what would be more grounded would be a response. I'm going to respond to this. It has more of a, I still have my power, versus I reacted emotionally. Yes, he certainly had an emotional outburst, which was caused, I believe, by the trigger of the joke and Jada not feeling like she's feeling safe. Will being triggered by, hey, we've had this problem before and it led to her cheating, da, da, da. And so I need to do something right now. And he did do something, and it was not the best action. He then goes on to say, I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. So you can see here, the man I want to be. Will's masculinity is under attack. He feels that he did do something wrong. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. This could have arguably been the best night of Will Smith's life, yet it was tarnished simply because he was unable to stay grounded in the midst of chaos. It really comes down to those key moments in life when being grounded is going to make or break a situation in your life, your relationship, or your career. And in this case, we can see what's going to happen here to Will. I'm sure he's going to be able to overcome this challenge, but I'm also sure that this is going to require a lot of emotional growth on his end to be able to learn how to show up in a more grounded way when you feel that you're being under attack. When we consider what Will did was a form of toxic masculinity, using aggression or force to cause harm to yourself or others in order to meet your needs, you can see how this isn't going to look good for men when you're resorting to a toxic form of masculinity, which in this case, he went on stage and slapped him and then cursed at him. Now, you could view that as being a protector, but you could have also have done this in a non-toxic way to still meet your needs and done it in a way where you show up as a stronger, more grounded leader, which Will did fail to do in this instance. And that is just the importance. Like, you really got to imagine what was going through his mind and how much pain and trauma is around that whole world for him and his wife around safety. And if she feels unsafe, then something bad happens. And Will feels like perhaps in the past, he wasn't able to make her safe. He wasn't able to protect her. And so you have a man who was triggered. He went on stage and like, what was he thinking? And what if he didn't just slap him? What if he continued to pummel him and keep punching? What if there was like a full-on attack? And I'm sure he thought about doing that, but he probably had some restraint. If you're getting anything from this, the importance of being grounded in your life is paramount to your ability to show up to the biggest challenges that are going to happen in your life, your career, your relationships. If you like this kind of content talking about masculinity, men's personal development, and relationships, then you should like this video and subscribe to this channel because it's going to go way deeper into how to become a stronger, more grounded man. And if you'd like to get my advanced training on how to become a stronger, grounded man, how to have more confidence, how to build an awesome relationship, then click the link in the description and it'll take you to a page where you can watch that training. All right, guys, until next time.